still have those relationships.
Hey! Good evening, everybody. How are you tonight?
Good afternoon.
Excellent, excellent. Well, welcome, welcome. I know you can be anywhere on an evening like this, and good for you for choosing to be here and check out something that's really, really fantastic. So, my name is Ellen Struber. I'm a partner with Viridian Energy. I live in Washington, D.C., and I'm all around the DMV, so I'm excited to be here tonight with all of you all. So, housekeeping. First thing, if anyone have a cell phone here? Of course they do, right? Some of you may have too. If you can put it on vibrate or turn it off or whatever it is that you want to do so it doesn't disrupt our event that we're going to have tonight, because you don't want to be that one that has the fancy little ringtone going off. Sometimes it's cool, but most of the time it's not. So you don't want to miss a beat here. But tonight we have something really special for you. I saw this about 5 years ago with my husband, and we couldn't be more excited to be working this business of Viridian. You know, there's sometimes in your life when you need a change and you just don't know exactly what it's going to be, or you just don't think you have the guts enough to do something different. Well, 5 years ago, we were in a situation where we needed to change, we needed to find a plan B. And Viridian came knocking on our door, and it's kind of interesting when you put it out there that you want to change, that things start coming to you. When you put it into the universe and you let the universe go to work for you, it's amazing what starts happening. So couldn't be more excited to be here this evening, and you know, this opportunity that you're about to see. What the cool part is, it just keeps getting better. So what I was excited about 5 years ago, I couldn't be even more thrilled now to what we've got going on. So I'm excited for you guys to see our presentation tonight. But before we get started, I want to introduce a fellow that's going to come up and show you this great opportunity. He's a dear friend of mine, and my husband has done amazing things in this DMV market. Most of you know who he is. He's the not only is he a leader in this marketplace and a good friend, but he has just got a tremendous vision of where he's going to go. And the cool part is he's only in his mid-20s. So, you know, it doesn't take decades and decades of experience to see something. If you see something, seize that opportunity. So I'm excited to bring up, without any further ado, Ambassador Louis Chambers.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Great.
I just came off a great phone conversation with some of the top leaders earlier today. Is it okay if I share some intimate information tonight? Can we kind of have some real talk tonight? Is that okay if we do that?
Without a doubt.
All right, cool. So for those of you who don't know me, Louis Chambers from Silver Spring, Maryland. I got involved about 4 years ago, right before the launch of DC, and that was kind of a thing. They kept telling me, oh, DC's getting ready to launch, kind of around the same amount of time as Ellen.
Yeah.
They said DC was launching. I'm from Maryland, and you kind of got to become part of this little pre-launch. It was a small pre-launch compared to the pre-launches that happened afterwards, from Texas to Australia to what's happening now in travel, but it was still that feeling of being a part of something. And they said, kind of, if you just lock arms, you stick to it, you kind of drive behind the vision, that great things will happen to you. And it did, you know what I mean? It was a phenomenal experience. Now being able to be at a great rank in the company, it kind of showed me that being a visionary is the most important part of this entire thing. It's not about what's happening around you, it's not about what's happening with other people, it's about the decision that you're going to make for yourself to build this business. And when it comes down to it, it's what do you see for yourself, and do you really understand the vision of where they're going and where you can take this? And that's what I kind of saw. Oh, I got a nice cool picture now. That's me, yeah. But I'm gonna go through these slides, but I'm gonna give you guys some real conversation throughout this experience, because I really want you guys to understand what's to come and what people are thinking about, and kind of the mindset that's driven behind this. So who are you? Why are you here? And where do you want to go? And the biggest focus that I put a lot of emphasis on, is it Wesley?
Yes.
Wesley, it's where do you want to go? You know, right now we're all in our current situations. We're all in our current life. We're clearly here because we see something and we see value in this business and we see value in ourselves for being a part of it and doing something big. But being a visionary in this, you kind of have to be able to understand and put reality into something that's not here yet. Does that make sense? You kind of have to kind of see where it's going and kind of look 12 months from now where you're going to be, 6 months from now from where you're going to be. And then your mind and your subconscious will kind of pull you towards that. So let's talk about where the company has come from. So it's market timing, company timing, and personal timing. It has to be a situation where you're like, okay, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to finally make the decision to really go all out, or to give this certain amount of time and investment in this business, because the investment financially is not high like owning a franchise. It's not high like owning a business as a whole and having overhead. The investment is time. It's sweat equity. It's putting in that work and getting on the ground and getting your hands dirty and helping other people. And that person that everybody walked by today. So did anybody go into a store today by a show of hands? A random store, a 7-Eleven, a gas station? We're all in this business. Did you talk to somebody today that you didn't know? Okay. And now, Wesley, you being a guest here tonight, now you have value to offer them in a financial aspect. And a lot of people come to me and having conversations of politics and all these things happen now in the current situation that we're in. That doesn't matter to us. We can't control any of that, but what we can control is our current situations, our current opportunities to help others economically empower themselves. So by 2020, purpose will be the main driver of business. Companies will either be seen as a purpose or a not-for-purpose company. Steve Phelps in Forbes magazine. And you kind of see it happening already. How many people see companies saying, we go green? Or any of these new big apartment buildings saying, we're green certified? Or it's happening all around us. All these car companies getting into electric and sustainability because they know it's a hot topic, they know it's important, and they know it's a trend that's going to last a long time. I mean, anybody in Montgomery County or DC have to pay 5 cents for their bags. You got to bring them to the grocery store now. These are changes that are happening that aren't going to go away. Last year, the Pope, when he did his tour, the Pope came around and was talking about sustainability and green energy. This is something that everyone's talking about, no matter what party you're part of. So let's talk about where the company has came from. So when I got involved in the company, it just came from this vision. A $500 billion industry, 34 choices of states, where you can make a free choice to choose to go green and save money. Deregulation simply means choice. That's it. The same way you make a decision for your cell phone provider, Andrew, is the same way you make your decision for your cable company, same way you make a decision for your mortgage company. Now you can finally make a decision for your energy company. That's simply all they told me, and they said it didn't cost anything for a customer to get involved, and we could help them save money and do something incredible for the environment. And with that little vision, I said, okay, let's get our hands dirty and let's spread this message, because I know that I have friends and family that aren't educated about this. And if I don't tell them and give them a reason to say no, then I'm only doing them a disservice. You know what I mean? I'm only doing people a disservice by not showing them this opportunity, because people have met and known people in this business that this business have changed their life, right? We've known them. We see the Joes, we see the Anthony Serenos, we see Eds, we see whoever involved. We see Ellen, we see Priscilla, we see Al. It doesn't matter. Andrew, that brought you here today. You see that it had a big impact on them, and we're just here to spread that message. So that's all that we had. But we transitioned into solar. And every 2.5 minutes, now someone is going solar. I actually think it's to 2 minutes now at this point. And it's just huge. I mean, there's so much evolution that's coming behind solar. Anybody that's seen Maryland 3 years ago versus Maryland now, and you look up on the rooftops, it's different. And it's not going to stop. Only thing they're going to do is get more efficient. They're going to get better. Cost is going to go down. Innovation is going to happen. They're going to announce new things. I don't know if anybody's seen like the solar rooftops things that are projected to come out. all that innovation, we have right now the ability to build that core foundation of a group, because we're gonna have all of that. That's just gonna be a part of the growth of the company, and we kind of plant our flag now, and we have a huge opportunity to be a part of that as well. So who do you know that uses energy? That was the question that I thought about. At that time, I was 22. I didn't have too many friends that were paying electricity. Most of my friends, it was right around the recession time. Most of my friends lived at home with their parents. But I knew that everybody used it all the time. And I know we used it up, and my parents were paying it. And I didn't know what was going on. I had no clue what an electric bill looked like. Promise to you. I had no clue what an electric bill looked like. I never paid an electric bill at the time of me getting involved in the company. I was staying at my parents' house. And then I took a look at it and I was like, so you never really know how much you're gonna pay? It's just like, whatever comes to you in the mail, you have no clue what your rate is. I asked my mother, I was like, do you know how much you pay for your electricity? She was like, no, I just pay it every single month. And I was like, I thought to myself, I said, so we've been living at this location for 15 years. You never thought about your electricity bill, but you've been paying it every single month. And somebody is getting paid every single month for that electric bill that you paid. So I'm telling you, if I can help you save money, do something good for the environment, all you're gonna do is keep doing what you've been doing, right, Mom? And she's like, I mean, yeah, like what's gonna change? And I was like, nothing's gonna change. The bill's gonna look the same, and you're gonna be doing something good for the environment, but you're gonna still get that same Pepco bill. She was like, boy, I'm not even gonna remember that you even did this. Then the green light went off. Then that's when it really, really settled in and it made sense to me, is that people are gonna pay it anyway. They're not gonna care about it. They're not even gonna remember, but they're gonna know they supported you, and they're gonna be paying this for years and years and years and years. Now imagine being able to build something behind something like energy, right? Now who do you know that likes to travel? By a show of hands, does anybody like to travel?
Absolutely.
By a show of hands, in this past, I guess we're in 11 months, has anybody taken any type of trip? Whether it was to Ocean City, to wherever, you've gone somewhere. Everybody's taking a trip. Anybody on Facebook by a show of hands? How many of you guys see people take trips on Facebook? Everybody. So we know people are out there traveling, right? And it's huge. And I'm gonna get into the economics of why I'm so excited about it. And it's just income fulfillment, independence, connection, value and meaning, power and abundance. But it's living with a purpose, and it's not having to choose and or, it's both. We're doing something that's mission-based. We're doing something with a purpose, but it's okay to get paid and do something good for people. That's like the best combination that you have. When a lot of people, when I talked about it, when I first got started, they said, why don't you ever talk about your job? Because I'm like, my job, I can't really provide any value for you. I'm doing it to get a check. And yeah, I might like the company. The people I work with might be a little cool. They're all right. But I don't have any purpose. I can't share this with you and help you empower yourself economically. I can't share this with you and help you do something incredible for the world. But what Veridian offered was power with purpose and a financial means for us to benefit from it and help a lot of people along the way. That's why it just made sense. And all we are is a sustainable lifestyle company. That's what we focus on, affordable, responsible energy, and the first ever company ever in history to offer zero carbon travel. Now, what does that mean? Someone asked me, what does that mean? Well, see, it just simply means that, let's say I just took a trip to Atlanta. I went down to homecoming for my school down at Morehouse. I got out, took an Uber down, got into the airplane, flew down to my hotel, stayed there for 2 nights, came back, we rented a car for a day, then we came back, took another flight back home. All that pollution that I produced, there's like an average estimate that people know you take this long trip of what your pollution is going to be. Veridian buys carbon offsets on your behalf. So you're producing this, you're providing this pollution, But when you're providing this solution, they're offsetting it by buying green energy over here. Does that make sense? So it's your zero carbon travel. That's all that it means. And it's huge because you're going to see in the slide later on that the number one polluter of this entire world is travel. And what's number two? Your home and energy. So the company decided to make a decision that we're going to knock down the two highest categories of your carbon footprint and provide it at a discount and provide an economic means for people to empower themselves, because being an entrepreneur right now and in the future, with things getting ready to shift a little bit, is going to be one of the most important things that we can do for everyone. Right? So, let's give you a quick background about the company. Founded in 2009 with a $2 million investment by a guy by the name of Michael Falquist. Just had a vision of providing green energy, becoming the biggest green energy company in the world. Since that point, we're ranked number 53 out of over 7,000 direct selling companies in the world. Number 53 in a matter of 7 years. We've had a revenue of $324 million, and since 2009 have 549% growth. And all that matters is that the company's making money. They're stable. They're strong. They're able to go into other industries. They're able to provide promotions. They're able to do a lot more when they're financially and economically empowered. Over 25,000 associates and over 250,000 customers, which that number I think is going to be very, very close to, if not more than 1 million by next year, hands down. And we're international now. We expanded to the great country of Australia, where there's a lot of impact that's happening, and it's been very huge for the company. And there's more countries to come. Trust me. And we do, and it's not just, if I can get my slides right, and it's not just about making the money and doing the environmental impact through the actual becoming a customer, but it's getting our hands dirty, doing mission trips and cleanups. It's an actual company that believes in making the world better and cleaner and more environmentally friendly, and bringing light to the world for people not only in our country, but all over the world. You see that in seven continents in 7 years. But since the company has been created, it's avoided 7 billion, with a B, pounds of carbon emissions. And it all started from cheaper energy that's environmentally friendly. We'll create the next Bill Gates. So this is a clip from Bill Gates, and don't take it from me. You know, one of the richest men in the world. The student asked, which industry is going to create the next Bill Gates? Because that's the industry that I want to be in. And here's the response.
Industries that will compete for being exciting in the decades ahead. The energy business, some approach will provide cheaper energy that's environmentally friendly. And there's a lot of science, a lot of business. It's a global thing. There'll be some great careers there.
So cheaper energy that's environmentally friendly, for those that you couldn't hear it. That's going to create the next Bill Gates. But what he left out is he never even thought to even imagine cheaper travel that's environmentally friendly. Because that industry is $8 trillion, and that's where we're headed, and that's where we're going. I'm going to get into why it's so big and how it's so big and the possibilities of it. So right now we're in 12 electricity markets, and the benefit of us being in a pre-launch and being in Maryland and DC and any of these states is that we can still make money during the pre-launch. People are still out there getting revolutions done, getting solar contracts done in the midst of us going live in a couple of weeks with travel. It's huge. There's going to be more solar states, there's going to be more gas stations, there's going to be more electric states that we go into in the future. And I'm not talking about 5 years out. I'm talking about within the next 12 to 24 months. There's going to be huge growth happening in solar as well. And then not only growth in the domestic states, but internationally. Don't think I should talk about this tonight, but I know that they have their eyes on other countries right now, and other companies have their eyes on other countries right now that recently deregulated, and the company changed its name from Viridian Energy to Viridian International for a reason. So everybody needs to kind of take off, because when I first got started, all I thought was, what state were we going to open up in next? That was kind of the big conversation. But now it's not what state's going to open up next, but it's what country are we going to go into. And this is how your bill looks before and after. So this is the Pepco bill before, Wesley, and this is how the Pepco bill is going to look after. The only changes that you're going to see right here, and just simply saying, oh, okay, Viridian's going to give you this fixed-in rate that's providing greener energy, that's cleaner for the environment, and I'm going to save a little bit of money along the way. That's simply it. And I'm going to keep on paying my bill the way that I've been paying it. But not only are we in travel, we're in electricity, solar, we have a huge commercial. If you know any buildings, I know a guy that got City Place Mall down in downtown Silver Spring that's been making a good amount of money from that commercial building. I know people that have government buildings. I know people that have restaurants. I know people that have malls. It's a huge, phenomenal program because these customers get really, really, really great deals that you get locked into, and you're talking about hundreds of dollars a month from one bill. And those people are out there. And then we have gas, and then we have other ways for you to save energy with our ecobee. You might have seen that in the Apple store, or you see it at Best Buy, and it's just a smart thermostat that saves on average 23% on your energy that we have a functioning product for as well. So now, I kept alluding to travel and it being such a large industry. So right now I'm in a situation where all of my friends were trying to figure out what are we doing for New Year's. And they're like, oh, I want to travel and do like a little trip outside of the country. And then what really kind of sparked my excitement today, as well as some of the stuff that I heard from some of the leaders, was they had no clue where to start. We're out here going on all these different websites. Like, have you ever tried to book travel online, Wesley? Who do you use?
Travelocity, Kayak.
Kayak.
Yeah.
What about you, Ellen?
Expedia,
Expedia.
Priceline.
Which websites do you think are the best and the cheapest?
I don't use Expedia anymore.
Yeah. So all those sites that you buy, CheapOair and Kayak and all these companies, they're owned by Priceline and Expedia. They own basically all of the companies. And they put them under this umbrella where they have to deal with what they call rate parity. I'm not going to kind of get into the details, but you can imagine if you're a company and you're a large company and you hear those Expedia.com, like those commercials, you're spending, $2.4 billion in advertising. So if I'm spending all this money in advertising, I have to get a certain margin, right, of profit where it can justify as much money as we're spending in advertising, right? But now private companies like ours don't have to deal with that because we don't do any advertising. We don't have to spend $2.4 billion in advertising. So we don't need as big of a margin as anybody in Priceline or Expedia. So we can pass those savings along to the customer. But how do we get the word out there, right? Because the word has to get out there from someone. We have to pay someone to kind of create exposure. They put the power in our hands. That's how the word gets out there. We tell friends and family and friends and family and friends and family about it, and we pass those savings along to them, and they pay us for sharing that. And why is the business model genius? Because they don't have to pay any money until they acquire a customer. It's really simple kind of how you break it down of why we're able to do this. But if you look at the company historically, you saw that we're at $324 million in the energy business. If we would have done the same thing in the past 7 years in travel for what we did with energy, the company would be a $2.2 billion company. And it's just the magnitude. Think about how much you really spent on your last vacation. It wasn't cheap. I know, Mr. Young, I know you took a nice vacation probably. And it's expensive. I was looking at at a hotel, we're looking to go to Cancun, right? Just 3 days. It was, the cheapest one we found was $265 per person. It was like one of those little all-inclusive resorts. $265 per person. And it's me and one other person, me and my girlfriend. And that's $265, that's well over $500 per night, right? We're only staying 3 nights. That's $1,500 just in the hotel and the all-inclusive thing, right? And then plane tickets are, I guess with the 3 days we're gonna stay, were about $668, call it $700. So $700, $1,400 plus the hotel stay, $1,500. We're looking at close to a $3,000 vacation. We're only talking about 3 nights in Cancun. But let's think smaller. Let's think smaller. I went down to Atlanta and I stayed in a pretty average hotel. It wasn't like that great. You know what I mean? Between me and one buddy, we stayed 2 nights and it was $383. I remember it exactly. 2 nights. Now think about all your vacations. And I couldn't even imagine if I had anyone else to pay for it. Think about all the families out there. I just went to my cousin's football practice and they were like, yeah, all 4 of these teams right here are going to a tournament down in Florida. And I was like, how did you book your travel? And they were like, oh, we just kind of like just did it all on our own. And I was like, if the coach would have kind of sent you guys out a link to give you guaranteed savings on the hotel stay where everyone's gonna stay, would you have booked it there? And he was like, I was hoping they would take care of our travel. He's like, nobody wants to spend time searching and looking for stuff and trying to figure out where we want to stay and we want to be around the team. I was like, green light popped off. Then I thought about my cousin that got married this summer, and I was thinking, he didn't know what to do. He was like, yeah, I mean, you can stay here at this location, you can stay here at this location, you can stay here at this location, but you guys are kind of all on your own. Imagine that person at a wedding saying, here's where you can stay, here's where we're getting the best rates, here are my links, it's guaranteed cheaper than any public site, right? And then wait till you see the compensation on it. But I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. But just, I want you guys to open up your mind to the possibilities. Think past the little trips. Think past, you know, just the typical. Think about teams and schools and churches and weddings and, I mean, people travel all the time. So we're about to do it again. So what comes with Travel Light? What makes this so transformative? So it's zero carbon travel. The only company to offer zero carbon travel. Save a guaranteed up to 50%, in some cases even more than 50% on the travel. 110% price guarantee for Travel Light members. You have a personal concierge, so if you need any help booking anything, kind of putting things together, if you say I want to go here, go there, you can call this person up and they'll help you book your travel and get things together. And there's a Light Up the World program where every person that becomes a Travel Light member, there's a goal to light up 1 million homes or 1 million days in 2017, and we're on a mission to do that as well. This is just some of the leaders in the company, people from all different backgrounds. I mean, from cell phones to me just coming out of school to real estate, to car wash, owning car washes, to being in the paper business, to, I mean, all the backgrounds are just so different that you can't really say what you needed to have done to become successful in this business. All they did was make a decision. And it all comes down to what is today's office. I look at everything now and I see how things are shifting from the Airbnbs to, I'm gonna give you guys the real combo. The shift of what's happening right now is a performance-based economy.
That's right.
For those of you that aren't familiar, it's not, you're gonna see less high salaries on the front end. You're gonna see lower salaries and then kind of quotas that you have to meet.
That's right.
Like a person's gonna get paid on how many rooms that they clean in a certain time period. Or someone who's driving, think about what Uber has done. They completely revolutionized an entire car industry by just simply putting the power in the people's hands. To do something for themselves, to be independent and generate revenue. And all they used to do it was a cell phone. That's where it all starts, this. Anybody that has a vacant property that doesn't know about Airbnb, all you need is this. And you can put your vacant home up online or the home that you're living in and rent out rooms to make extra capital. I mean, there's from maid service. I mean, I can go all day on the different services that are coming about using the same type of business model. And that's all Veridian is. All they're saying is, here's what we have. We're going to put the technology in your hand. We have the Catalyst app now. We have the website. And you share this message, you can build something for yourself. It's just the way things are shifting right now. Because the people that provide the most value and help the most people and create the most exposure in all businesses in the future are going to have the most. We're going to be able to help the most. We're going to be able to kind of feel fulfilled by helping all these people. And a lot of things are going to happen. It's going to be revolutionary. So what do? It's two simple things, Wesley. All we do is enroll customers and show someone to do the exact same thing. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. You'll learn the other skill sets around the way, but that's the core of what we do. And it's $2.99 to get started. There's an optional business website as well. Anybody know any churches, fundraising programs by a show of hands, schools, anyone that they feel like need to raise some capital or need to do something different, are always looking for ways to do something? Now we have an innovative approach where the church doesn't have to ask for money anymore. They can share a way where we can do something incredible for the environment, our local community, and our global community, and financially benefit from it, and help those people save money as well. The fundraising program is just incredible to me. And then the Heroes program. Anybody that's a military veteran, I know it's just veterans. Anybody show of hands, any military veterans? Let's go ahead and give it up for the military veterans in the room. So it kind of speaks to the core and the mission of the company, of who they are. So any active duty or retired military veteran or spouse can actually enroll for free. So there's no fee for them to actually enroll in the company, and they can start building a business for themselves at no cost. So there's two things you can do: become an associate or become a customer. And that's kind of the economics of it all. So if somebody wants to become a Travelite member, this is for members only. These are for the people that want to get that 50% savings, the personal concierge, and all the extra benefits, and have Karma links and everything. That's $99 up front, and then after that, $39 a month for the membership.